Now let's turn inward. Sometimes it can feel that everything is happening in a far-off place, the other side of the planet, so maybe it won't matter to you. Well, sadly, that is never the case. No matter who you are, no matter what you do, an Iran-Israel war will affect you. You will feel the pinch. And it has already begun. Whenever chaos breaks out in West Asia, the first thing to get affected is oil. The world depends on this region for a steady supply of oil, and any escalations trigger a price hike. The Iranian attack sent oil prices soaring. Brent Crude, the global oil benchmark, was up by over 3% at one point. It had crossed the $75 per barrel mark, touching its highest level in a month. The price has receded a bit since then to just over $74 a barrel, but that's still about 1% up. And this is nothing compared to what a full-blown war will do, what an escalation would do from here. Now, you may think it won't matter to you. So what if a war breaks out and Israel destroys Iranian oil facilities, like they're reportedly planning to do? You may think that my country doesn't trade with Iran anyway, so why does it matter? Things won't change. Well, again, sadly, it doesn't work like that. You see, Iran has been selling oil to a number of countries. Despite all the sanctions against it, Iran still sells oil, and this oil reportedly finds its way to Chinese refineries. China is the world's largest importer of oil, and it won't stop buying oil even if Iran suddenly implodes. If that happens, if Iran implodes, China will just change suppliers. They'll buy from elsewhere. They will increase imports from other sources and cause prices to surge. So if the war escalates, your oil will get more expensive. Petrol, diesel, kerosene, pick your poison, everything will get more expensive, and that means inflation. Oil inflation will lead to overall inflation. Increased fuel costs mean that transportation becomes expensive. Ships charge more for cargo. Trucking firms charge more to transport goods, and soon your little made-in-China plastic spoon becomes twice as expensive. The cost of everything goes up. And the whole world is back to 2022, back to dealing with a cost of living crisis. We were just coming out of an inflation spiral. Just 2 weeks ago, the US Federal Reserve cut interest rates. Things were looking up, so the Fed decided to slash rates. But you can forget about all of that if this war escalates. Inflation will go up, so the Fed will go back to raising rates. Every country will most likely follow suit, meaning all your loans will get more expensive. Home loan unaffordable, personal loan unsustainable, credit card debt downright brutal. This will be the case for every single country again. And the true cost will only become evident after a few months, because inflation moves after a bit of a lag. The most immediate change might be to airfares. The airspace over Israel was shut during the missile rain. It was subsequently opened. But airlines are not taking any chances. And rightly so. Flights have been diverted. If the fighting escalates, West Asia will become a no-fly zone. Flights will be cancelled or rerouted, making air travel more expensive almost immediately. Like I said, this has already begun. Airlines like Lufthansa, KLM and Swiss have suspended flights. Some flights from Germany to India were turned around. As things stand, you can expect more of this in the days ahead. So if your next vacation is not around the Pacific, airfares will surge. Basically, a war makes everything worse. And we know this. We've seen this before. When Russia invaded Ukraine, we know how it plays out. But it's also out of our control. It really depends on Iran and Israel, on what they decide to do. The rest of us will just be the ones stuck holding the bill.
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election. Explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained. Every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.